Guys, what is going on? Welcome to my review for this past week's edition of NXT. We're going to take a look and break down everything that took place on the June 28th, 2017 edition of NXT. Really strong edition of NXT this week with a fantastic last woman standing match between Asuka and Nikki Cross. Those two tore the house down. Seeds were planted for a potential showdown, I believe, between Hideo Itami and Cassius Ohno. We'll see where that storyline goes. We also have next week, things are going to continue to be picking up on NXT with an NXT Championship match between Roderick Strong and Bobby Roode. Got a nice video package on that tonight. So all in all, this was a very strong edition of NXT. So we'll talk about, this show from start to finish. And things started out on the show with the Velveteen Dream versus Ho-Ho Lun, Patrick Clark. As you all know, this is his new gimmick. Not really sure what to think about it at the moment. But he did beat Ho-Ho Lun in relatively quick fashion. He delivered a diving elbow drop. Ooh, yeah, Macho Man approved. Dig it. To get the victory. So yeah, we'll see where this push goes for Patrick Clark and this new gimmick, the Velveteen Dream that he's going under. See how far it can take him. But right now, sit back and see how it goes. Don't really have too much otherwise to say about this match. We had Asuka shown being driven to the arena and in a car, Nikki Cross, because she's crazy, psychotic, and you never know what she's going to do. She jumps on the hood of the car, and she's trying to get into the car to attack Asuka. Eventually, security has to pull them away. I love seeing these two interact. Nikki Cross just coming across as crazy, psychotic, a lunatic. You never know what she's going to do, and unlike Dean Ambrose, I think the Lunatic Fringe name would apply wonderfully to Nikki Cross because she is totally invested in, that mantra. And I just love the interactions, like I said, between her and Asuka. This feud has been really good. You throw Ruby Riott into the mix. The NXT Women's Division has really rebounded nicely. Considering where they came out of the draft last year, where they really lost a lot of talent. But I feel like now, with the influx of new talent, you also have the Mae Young Classic coming up. Good things are in store for the NXT Women's Division. So, yeah, this was just a little hype, a little teaser for the match later on in the night between Asuka and Nikki Cross in that tremendous last women's standing match. We have William Regal saying that in 2 weeks, I believe, the Authors of Pain and Heavy Machinery will collide for the NXT Tag Team Championships. So, match that I look forward to seeing. Heavy Machinery, becoming a fan of these guys. Since DIY broke up, the NXT Tag Team division being a little thin on talent. But I look forward to seeing the type of clash that these two mammoth teams can put on. I'm looking forward to seeing what type of match they can come up with. So that is 2 weeks from now, NXT Tag Team Championship match. So that should be something good to look forward to. We then had Hideo Itami versus ONeal Orkin. Instantly, within the first couple seconds of this match, ONeal Orkin hit a running European uppercut and literally busted Hideo Itami's nose open. So initially, it looked like the match was going to be called off. We have a video package, like I said, strong video package, no pun intended, about Roderick Strong versus Bobby Roode next week. We come back, Tommy storms back down to the ring, and I love seeing these two go at it because they really hold nothing back. I mean, it's hard hitting physical shots, whether it's the kicks or the punches or the boots that they hit on each other. Stuff looks good, and it looks like it hurts. And it looked like ONeal Orkin towards the end of the match. He had like some sort of knee injury, clutching his knee, but Hideo Itami was able to sucker him in, hit the GTS for the win. So once again, Hideo Itami is victorious over ONeal Orkin with a broken nose and all. After the match, Hideo called Cassius Ohno to the ring, and it was interesting to see what they were going to say to one another. I was thinking perhaps maybe this is where Hideo possibly turns on Cassius, leading to a match between them. I believe that'll take place at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3. But Sanity came down. Nikki Cross, Eric Young, and Alexander Wolf, and Killian Dane. And they go on the attack on Cassius Ohno and Hideo Itami. And this leads to the announcement that next week it'll be Cassius Ohno and Hideo Itami versus Eric Young and I believe it's Killian Dane. It might be Alexander Wolf. But one of the two members of Sanity they'll be taking on in a tag team match next week, in addition to the anticipated match between Roderick Strong and Bobby Roode. Look forward to that showdown taking place next week on NXT. But let's talk about this main event match on NXT. Phenomenal. One of the best women's matches of the year. These two held nothing back. They went all out. And hard-hitting, physical. Just a couple words to describe it. Taking it to the limit. These two, like I said, whether it was steel chairs or going up on a ladder and going through the announcer's table, battling up on the stage, it didn't matter. You knew Nikki Cross and Asuka, they were going to do everything and anything to keep to keep their respective opponents down. And no matter what Nikki Cross was able to do to Asuka, she just continues to prove why she has, been the NXT champion for well over a year now and continues, hard to believe, to remain undefeated in NXT. There were several close near falls where I thought maybe there's just a slight chance where Nikki Cross might be able to get the best of Asuka because, due to Asuka being undefeated, not being pinned, the best chance to beat her would, be in a falls or last woman standing match. And a really nice spot here was where they obviously climbed to the top of the ladder, and Asuka suplexed Nikki Cross off the top of the ladder through the announcer's table. Like I said, just one of the many great spots in this match. I really like the match had a nice flow. It really built and crescendoed towards the end. When there was a pile of chairs in the middle of the ring, like how Nikki Cross teased putting Asuka through it, but she was actually able to German suplex Nikki Cross off the, or actually powerbomb Nikki Cross powerbombed Asuka into a pile of steel chairs. There was a nice German suplex counter from Nikki Cross, and she knocked Asuka off the, or should I say Nikki Cross? Asuka knocked Nikki Cross off the stage with the right hand, and Asuka hit a hip attack onto Nikki Cross off the stage, and just back and forth these two went. Like I said, it took these two going through the announcer's table, which you really don't see too much, if at all, on NXT. Can't remember the last time somebody went through the announcer's table on this show. But it was really good stuff, and Asuka is able to get to her feet, makes it to the count of 10. Like I said, one of the better matches that I've seen here on NXT. Might be the best NXT match of the year. Specifically just talking about the weekly NXT shows. I can't think of a match that was better on these weekly editions of NXT than probably this one. So yeah, really great stuff from the NXT women's division. A really strong edition of NXT. For that match alone, I'm going to give this show an A. Really great edition of NXT this week as things continue to progress on the road to NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3. It's coming up in about a month and a half, so I look forward to seeing what the plans are in store for that. But that concludes my weekly review for NXT. I want to say thank you all for tuning in and watching. Leave your comments down below for what you thought of NXT this week. What did you like, what didn't you like, and I'll be sure to respond back to those. Be sure to click that like and subscribe button for more video content coming soon to this channel. Be on the lookout for me in my next video, whenever that may be. So until then, thanks for watching, guys, and take care.